Welcome back. After a marathon council sitting with no shortage of drama, Nelson Mandela Bay Metro has a new mayor. In the early hours of this morning, the DA's Retief Odendaal beat out the ANC's Wandisile Jikeka by 60 to 59 votes. It followed the removal of Eugene Johnson as mayor through a no-confidence motion. In a statement, the DA says Odendaal will now set about putting the metro on the path of good governance. For more on his plans then, I'm joined by the new Nelson Mandela Bay Metro Mayor, Retief Odendaal. Mr. Mayor, good evening. Thank you for your time. Before we talk about your plans, let's just reflect on the meeting that took place yesterday into the early hours of this morning. Chaotic, pandemonium, and at times, it just seemed like it was gridlocked. What exacerbated that situation, and also link that to why you, as these parties that have now formed this coalition, were so adamant that Mayor Eugene Johnson needed to go?
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me. I'm unfortunately sitting in a car, so it's not the best of virtual settings. But yes, yesterday's meeting was really unfortunate. We have had a breakdown in council, and it actually indicates how broken Nelson Mandela Bay Council has become. We need to be able to fix that council because the council provides the necessary oversight for the administration and to ensure that the administration is functional. If we are not going to be able to fix council, we're never going to be able to fix Nelson Mandela Bay administration. Yesterday, we saw the ANC and the EFF being desperate to cling onto power in Nelson Mandela Bay. And at one stage, ANC and EFF councillors actually stormed the podium to grab the ballot boxes to prevent them from being counted. We had to restart that process. We are not surprised that the ANC and the EFF went down that route, but it's unfortunate that it's broken council. And that's why many of the coalition partners that were with the ANC realized that they need to break away from that toxic coalition government and form a coalition government with the DA, which is based on good governance and have got the interest of the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay at heart.
Yeah. So what I heard was that you were planning to hit the ground running and work was to start on day one. Has it started? And what are the top priorities that need to be attended to?
Well, absolutely. Work has already started. Direct oversight has already started. We've got a number of priorities, and there's an extensive turnaround plan that the coalition government is currently finalizing. But top priorities include the fact that we are sitting with a drought crisis, one of the worst drought crises on record. And there has been a direct intervention by national government to assist Nelson Mandela Bay, whose dams are currently only standing at 18%. However, that intervention by the Department of Water Affairs seemed to have failed because they have not seconded a single official to come and assist Nelson Mandela Bay in this drought crisis. So I'm going to directly intervene and have a discussion with the minister to see how we can get human resources to assist the municipality. I also want to refer us to a housing crisis that we have in Nelson Mandela Bay. We've got a 110,000 unit backlog in housing delivery, but the ANC government has failed to deliver any houses, and by end of June this financial year, they've only built 28 houses. Coupled with that, the fact that we have basically no service delivery and that all service delivery and our service delivery directorates have come to a grinding halt. We've seen that there's 20,000 potholes in Nelson Mandela Bay. We've seen that there's 10,000 street lights that's out, 5,500 sewage blockages, and it becomes very clear that the city has not been functioning. So we've now collated those reports. I've requested all of those reports, and we'll try and put interventions in place to try and get service delivery moving. I want to make it very clear that we've got a coalition government, a multi-party majority coalition government that really wants to get the city working again. We've had deliberations over the last couple of weeks as to how we can get provide interventions to get the city working, and we are confident that over the next couple of weeks, the residents in Nelson Mandela Bay will start seeing a difference in the service delivery that comes their way.
Before we talk about the nuts and bolts of how the coalition will work and its prospects, I just want us to talk a bit about one area of service delivery that your party, I believe, was highlighting not so long ago, and I found this quite incredible, and I'd want to hear it directly from you. Is it true that water leaks in and around Nelson Mandela Bay cost the city some 1.5 million litres of water last month in a period of the drought whose magnitude is just extraordinary for the city of Nelson Mandela Bay? Is that a true report that you can take someone on the ground and show us in the northern areas and say, this is the leak we are talking about?
Well, that 1.5 million litres was actually only one leak. There's currently more than 2,000 water leaks that hasn't been attended to. Just last week, there was over 800 water leaks that were reported by residents, and we managed to only fix 18. The reality is in Nelson Mandela Bay, this crisis has resulted in us being unable to attend to
proceed.
This drought crisis is a man-made crisis, and we are losing 40% of the water that comes into Nelson Mandela Bay. Therefore, we need to be able to give clear direction, get the assistance from national government to be able to address this crisis.
Yeah. So I guess then we don't need to color this any more vividly in terms of what's at stake. Let me suggest to you, Mayor, that it's going to be very, very tricky for you to be able to carry out these plans that you have, noble as they may be, ambitious as they may be. You have a razor-thin majority, 60 to 59, with an ANC and other parties that you've already said, we're not keen to lose control of the municipality, but also with a 7-party coalition, some of whose members were members of a coalition that you led some years ago that eventually broke down, and the ANC regained control. So I don't know how seriously to take your plans for a turnaround in Nelson Mandela Bay, when at the back of my mind, I'm thinking this coalition probably won't hold.
Well, I think that first of all, our coalition is made up of 62 partners. Just remember that yesterday, not all our coalition partners and members to our coalition could vote. So there's 62 partners, which gives us a majority coalition. We believe that that majority coalition will already assist in providing some form of stability in an otherwise very unstable environment. But I do believe that our coalition partners have learned from the mistakes that the ANC has made previously, that a coalition government must be built on a trust relationship. We also have seen that there's a possibility that the ANC will get below 50% at a national level in 2024. Therefore, coalitions all over South Africa must be able to prove to the electorate and to the residents of South Africa that we are able to be a credible alternative to an ANC government. So coalitions going forward, I believe, will be a little bit more stable, with the view that we have to prove to the electorate that they can work. We've seen that in the past, that there has been a number of coalitions that's been very unstable. I believe that with the extensive negotiations that we've put in place, we've got like-minded coalition partners that really want to bring change to Nelson Mandela Bay, because they've seen the worst of a toxic ANC over the last year. But it's not going to be an easy task. It is certainly going to be a very difficult task at hand. It's a big coalition that needs to be managed, and we're under no illusion that that it's going to be a small and easy task.
Lastly, Mayor, if you fail at everything, what's the one or two things that residents of Nelson Mandela Bay should hold you to account for, that if you achieve absolutely nothing else in the time that you'll be in office, these are the key areas in which they will see improvement in their lives?
Basic service delivery and water reticulation. Not a day goes by that large parts of the city is not without water, and that is mostly through mismanagement. We need to be more responsive towards basic service delivery outages, and I believe that we are able to attend to those much more speedily than what the previous administration has been able to. Just for example, the sewage blockages that we see, there's 5,500 of them on average. It takes the city nearly 3 weeks to attend to a sewage blockage. The legislative time frame for to attend to a sewage blockage is 24 hours. So it's clear that Nelson Mandela Bay are unable to deliver services at this stage, and it should be possible for any government to improve on those woeful turnaround times.
All right. Retief Odendaal, thank you for your time. The new mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, elected following the ousting of Eugene Johnson in a motion of no confidence in that very dramatic sitting that started yesterday and proceeded, and with breaks in between and chaos from time to time, proceeded well into the early hours of this morning, with the result that Retief Odendaal will lead a coalition government of 7 parties. He tells me the numbers in council, they have 62. So 60 voted yesterday, 60 to the 59 that were against the motion of no confidence. But he says overall the numbers will come up to 62 for the coalition. Let's see if it holds. Let's see if it holds.